Hello and welcome back to Dragon Quest World Tutorials. I'm Easy, and in this video I want to do my top 10 videos of the weapons that I do not have for the year 2023. So pretty much this year there have been actually I believe 24 weapons that actually have been released out of the entire year. So pretty much the first one being the Aurora Staff, and the last one being the most recent one, the Magic Treasure Sword. So with all those in between all 24 weapons, I actually got 13 of them, so there is going to be 11 that I did not get. So pretty much the one that is not going to be on the list is going to be the Squishy Paw Rod. I just never really, even when it first came out, I didn't really have an really good idea of, not necessarily, it's not something I actually wanted. It does have Baikyurt on it, but it's just something that I didn't necessarily need, I believe. But yeah, so with that said, I want to go ahead and get into this top 10. So here we're going to be starting it now. Number 10, the Moonlight Beauty. So this buggy based weapon came out in I believe late or early May, I believe. So this came out around the time Captain Crow was a mega monster. So this particular weapon is a boomerang, had a special ability that did buggy damage to the enemy, so multiple attacks, and also could weaken the enemy. So I really wanted this weapon for its buggy damage. But kind of it's low on the list because I actually felt that with the increase or the upgrade that the Claws of Blackstorm gets in the actual forge, that actually becomes quite good, even though it's somewhat low. It actually does have very nice effects in terms of lowering the attack power of the enemy. But this was a good weapon that I actually did want to get for that particular reason, for just the buggy based damage. So yeah, so this is going to be my number 10. So number 9, that's going to be the Judgement Rod. So the Judgement Rod came out somewhat recently with the Dragon Quest 9 event, so the 4th anniversary event. So this was the healing weapon that came out. So this was actually kind of interesting because I actually kind of did want this weapon because you could actually use a spell and heal at the same time, or it had it in the same action. So that actually kind of made it very unique in terms of a weapon. But pretty much with a weapon that, or a healing weapon that I did get earlier this year during the Dragon Quest 6 event, I felt that was actually a bit much better than this particular one. But definitely this is something that if I did get it, I probably would be using it in my team, though I would probably be using the other weapon instead, in terms of just regular battles, or in terms of if I needed 2 healers. Definitely this would be one of them, but definitely the other weapon, which I will go over in my top 10 video, that actually I prefer. So number 8, that's going to be the Althaea Rose. So the Althaea Rose is a great sword, so one of the 3 that we have in the game. So pretty much this is the only great sword that I do not have. But in terms of this particular weapon, what I really wanted it for was for its main ability, which is going to be an EO based ability. That particular ability was actually quite good if you were actually doing the alchemy quests for the dragon version. So pretty much upgrading certain alchemy accessories, or EO based accessories for through alchemy. Pretty much this weapon was actually quite good in taking down the dragon type enemies. So this was actually useful then. And then also just in general, that ability, which is called Light Blade, that does again 440% EO weapon damage to all enemies, and destroys enemies that are reduced to less than 15% of their 15% of their HP. So very similar to the abilities of the Aurora Staff, which actually has the same thing with Meteora destruction. But yeah, so this was actually a pretty good weapon to have on. Again, since it's only a great sword, it can only be used by the Demon Swordsman class and also the Guardian class. Number 7, the Claw of the Phantom King. So this weapon actually is quite the word that I actually come to think of it is nasty, and that is going to be with the sudden activation ability that it does have, and this one is called Evil Seal. So pretty much what it does is that it actually seals all breath and spells of the enemy. So right at the beginning of the battle, and that's going to last 2 turns. So that is actually quite good against enemies that are using breath attacks and spells. So definitely with an enemy such as even the Phantom King himself using breath damage and also spells, that actually did help out a lot. Also with a certain type of dragon enemies that use breath attacks, that breath silence actually does really help out in terms of pretty much just building up your characters buffs right in the beginning so that you're not taking much damage. But besides that, it does have Shakunetsu, which is Scorching Heat. So that's the strongest ability, which pretty much is a mirror breath base damage to all enemies. I really don't see, I never really saw myself using that particular ability in the first place. Pretty much all I wanted this weapon for was for that Evil Seal and using it on particular enemies. But besides that, yeah, this is actually an okay weapon that I would probably find some use for besides the actual Evil Seal technique. At number 6, we have the Exquisite Fairy Whip. So this came out pretty much earlier this year. So this actually was a weapon that I did want to get because at the time I actually did not have a whole lot in terms of Jibadia based weapons. Even now, I kind of still don't have a quite a variety, even though that the Golden Claymore is actually pretty good with Jibadia base. But with this was actually a weapon that again, a whip that did Jibadia based damage to the enemy, especially the main ability, which is going to be Slithering Snake, which pretty much does 600% Jibadia physical technique damage to an enemy. And then also it can also have the power to actually increase that to even 650%, and even I believe it has chances of incurring various effects. So I believe they're a bit random. So for example, lowering enemy attack power and such like that. So definitely this is a weapon that hopefully I can actually get in the future. I actually do have the headpiece and also the chest piece for this, so hopefully I can actually get the weapon and possibly the leggings to have the full set, but we'll see what happens. So number 5, this is going to be the Magic Treasure Sword. So this is actually not that high up on my list. This is the last weapon of 2023. Pretty much with this weapon, it actually, the shadow based damage and the buggy based damage that it does, it actually is quite good against enemies. It's actually one of the top in terms of doing damage for those particular attributes. And then it also has, for example, Kaishin Rush, and then also has the effect of removing enemy buffs. Pretty much it's not that high on my list because, or not higher, I should say, because especially with the most recent Mega Monster, so that's going to be Omudo Rex. Pretty much this weapon would have been good against him, but I actually did use a different weapon that I actually did get in earlier this year against Omudo Rex that had the same buff removing effects. So pretty much using that instead is actually pretty good. But yeah, if I mean, this particular banner is actually still going on. It's still going on, I believe, until January 18th. So I still kind of have a chance of getting it, but I think I want to concentrate on pretty much the new banners coming up in for the new year. Definitely New Year's banner is a banner that actually is going to be quite good. It's usually never failed over the past years, so definitely that's something that I would like to try to do. At number 4, I have the Dark Dragon's Fang. So this came out again for the 4th anniversary event. So with this particular weapon, again, this is going to be a dagger. So this did Shadow, or its main ability does Shadow damage to all enemies, which was something that I was actually quite very interested in, especially for my ninja. So with this, it pretty much did shadow damage 4 times to the enemy, but pretty much if you have the initiative during the battle, the chances of you also getting critical hits with the attacks also increases as well, with a maximum of 10%. So that actually would be very good, especially in terms of the Journey of Awakening for, I believe, the Silver Devil. That actually would have been quite good, since many of the enemies in that particular Journey of Awakening are weak to shadow-based attacks. But besides that, this also has a very good Dorma Breath damage that does Dorma Breath damage to all enemies, with a chance to weaken them as well. So yeah, this was a pretty good weapon. Also, I did have an ability called Metal Piercer that did damage to metal enemies. So this was actually a pretty good all-around weapon. Weapon that I was not able to get. I only got the chest piece, so possibly in the future, hopefully I can actually get this weapon. So now with the top 3, and at number 3, we're going to have the Full Moon Ring of the Fairies. So this came out with the Quest 14 release. So this is actually a very good weapon as a support weapon for your characters. So pretty much its main ability, Forbidden Wind Dance, is going to actually do boggy damage to all enemies, but not only that, it's going to increase the weapon and physical technique damage of your other characters as well. So your characters are going to be doing more damage in this particular case. So a weapon that I would compare this to would be like the Mysterious Tambourine. The only difference between that and this weapon is that the Mysterious Tambourine increased weapon and physical damage, and not only that, but also spells as well, and also healing as well. So that's actually the big difference here. But if you're going to be in a team that's going to be doing like physical attacks, this is going to be a very good weapon, very good support. Definitely something that would have been quite useful, for example, in, let's say, a battle with like Amador Rex. But in that case, pretty much a book or a weapon such as the Book of Heaton probably would have been best there, and I'll probably go over that in my top 10 list for the weapons that I do have. And at number 2, I have the Aurora Staff. So the Aurora Staff came out mid-year or so, and with this, this is something that I actually did want, something that has been lacking with Jibadia in terms of that attribute, where it's going to be spells. So not a lot of weapons that have Jibadia based spells that actually do very good damage. In this case, the Aurora Staff was the answer to that. It pretty much did damage, Jibadia based damage to all enemies, to single enemies, and then also had an effect when your other characters actually did damage to an enemy. It would actually go ahead and do an extra Jibadia damage to the enemy as well. So this actually made things go well or smoothly if you actually had this on for the first alchemy journey, which was going up against the dark slime. So with that, that actually made things quite a bit of breeze to get through in terms of those battles. But definitely this is something that I did want to have with a Jabari based team if I had a spellcaster in it. The only closest one or closest Jabari spell that I do have is going to be Rock Wedge. That's going to be from the Sealed Great Sage, but that does not do as much damage as the Aurora Staff. So hopefully I'll be able to get this particular weapon when it comes out in a revival banner. And at number 1, I have the Ice Staff of the World Tree. So this is the weapon that I felt is the best weapon that I don't have. So pretty much I really wanted to get this weapon. Pretty much in terms of Shadow, I have a wide variety of Shadow weapons, but nothing that's somewhat new. Some that, for example, this is going to do Shadow spell damage to the enemy, a great amount of it too, but compared to the current, the latest Shadow's spell weapon that I do have, that's going to be the Ocean Whip. The Ocean Whip came out pretty much almost 3 years ago or so, around then. But since then, it actually has been, it can be upgraded in the Forge to actually be pretty decent. It's actually not bad. It does actually grant you chances to actually get charms on the enemy with the main ability. But in overall power, I feel that the Ice Staff of the World Tree would have been a lot better, especially on an Archmage that's going to get spell crits and then also going to get echoes and multicast. This would have been like a very good weapon to actually try out on Omodor Rex if I actually did have it on. But since I don't have a lot in terms of the Shadow weapons, that actually would have been the best option. But pretty much yeah, so this is the weapon that I feel is the best weapon that I do not have. So hopefully, again, actually I believe this actually did come out in a revival banner this year, and I actually got the chest piece for it, but hopefully it does come back again in another revival banner, so I can have a chance to actually get this weapon again. So that's going to be it for my top 10 of the weapons that I don't have for the year of 2023. So my video on the weapons that I do have for 2023 will be coming soon, as well as I will be doing a weapon breakdown of the Divine Bird Staff, so please stay tuned for that. So with that said, going to end this video here, so thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.